In this video, I'm going to show you how to set the node's value by position in a singly linked list. For our method, we're going to call it set. This method will take in two arguments. The first one will be the index or the location within our list that we want to make this update on. And then the second argument will be the value. Okay, so looking at our pseudocode, you will see it as very similar to the get method if you saw that video. Just a few changes. But to get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of the current node. So here, I'm going to do let current node equal this dot head. Next, we're going to make a loop. I will use a for loop. So I'm going to do let I equal 0. So the initial index will start at 0, and then the condition will to continue to run this loop is as long as I is less than this dot length. And each iteration, we're gonna have to increment by I++. All right, so now that we're inside the loop, the first condition, we're gonna have a condition of if else, and if is gonna check if argument index is equal to the loop's index. So if I, which is the loop index, is equal to the index passed in as an argument here, then that means that we arrived to the location of our list where we want to make this update for. So in that case, here at that point, we want to update the value of the node and return true. Okay, so we're going to update it by doing current node dot value equals to the val, which is the second argument that we passed in. So that's how we take care of that. So now that that current node's value is updated, we want to also return true to let know that the function was executed successfully. And then here in the else, we want to update the current node to be current node dot next. All right, and then if we get to the end, then that means we never located it, so we're gonna return false. All right, it's reached the end of the list, the list, so exit out and we just return false. All right, so it's going to return true if we did update. If not, return false. So let's go ahead and before anything, for now, I will change this to true, but for now, I'm going to return this just so you can see that with returning this, we're going to return the whole singly linked list so you can see that we're actually updating it. Okay, so if I look at the structure here, it's built out like this. We have 7, 14, and 19. So what I want to do is I want to go to the first index, right? Because this is considered 0 index and this is 1. So the first index, let me set this up here. So set, and then we know it takes in two arguments, right? So the first argument is the index, and as I said, this is the first index, so we'll set this to 1, index of 1, and the second argument is the value, right? So I want to change this to be 24. So let me change from 14 to 24. I'm going to pass in 24 as the value. I'm going to save that, and if I run our code, let me expand this here. All right, so if I run this code, look at what we get here. We still get the length of 3 because we didn't add or remove anything. All we did was update the value. So if I expand this here, you see that the head is 7. Okay, so you see here 7, and we changed this from 14, the next node over from 14 to 24. So if I expand this head here and you look at the next here, look at the node, it has a value 24. You see? So we made that change. And if I go to the next node over to the 24, it should be 19. So let's go ahead and expand this next. And you see indeed we get a node of 19. And 19, it is considered the tail and the end of the list. Therefore, it has the next property set to null. All right. So we have created a set method that takes in two arguments, the index and the value for our singly linked list.